This story begins with a man who was dead. But when he opens his eyes, he realizes that death was not the end for him, but the beginning of something even more terrifying. A digital timer on his hand is constantly counting down, and he has only 24 hours left. The question is, why was he brought back to life? As soon as he regains consciousness, the man finds himself in a strange medical lab. His entire body is connected to machines. Just then, a man standing there smiles at him and says that he is no longer the same person. He had died, but he was given life again for a special purpose. While he is still trying to understand this, a huge man walks in and starts questioning him about an extremely important mission. But the man is completely clueless. He cannot remember anything. Hearing this, the fat man angrily orders the nurse that if he remembers nothing, then he is useless. Finish him. The nurse immediately prepares a poisonous injection. Just as she is about to insert the needle into his vein, the man suddenly grabs her hand with lightning speed. The very next moment, he pushes her away and gets to his feet. Just then, a guard attacks him, but he quickly picks up a nearby blade and kills him with a single strike. Chaos erupts in the room. The nurse tries to run away in fear, but he catches her and forces her to reveal the truth. Trembling, the nurse tells him that he really had died. He has only been brought back to life for 24 hours. After that, his eyes fall on the digital timer strapped to his hand, whose countdown is constantly decreasing. But who was this man? And how did he die? Sometime earlier, this same man had been living a completely different life. His name was Arthur. He was considered one of the world's most dangerous and accurate snipers. His marksmanship was so incredible that people could hardly believe the way he fired a gun. But for the sake of his family, he had given up weapons. He wanted to live a peaceful life. He believed that his violent past had been left behind forever. But fate had something else in store. One day, his old enemies arrive at his house. Burning with revenge, they brutally murder his entire family. When Arthur sees the bodies of his loved ones, his world ends right there. Now he has only one reason left to live: to find his family's killers and take such revenge that they would remember it until death. Meanwhile, the story shifts to the South African border, where an Interpol convoy is moving forward under extremely tight security. With them is James, a man who possesses secret information that could change the entire world. The entire operation is under the command of Agent Lily. Everything appears normal, but suddenly, Lily notices a woman hurriedly taking her children inside the house. The sight seems strange to her. Before she can understand what is happening, armed men emerge from a vehicle parked ahead and begin raining bullets on the Interpol convoy. Destruction spreads everywhere. The Interpol team fights back, but the enemies had come fully prepared. Terrorists emerge from every direction, and within minutes, almost the entire team is wiped out. Seeing the situation worsen, Lily somehow escapes with James. They survive, but she now realizes that this was no ordinary attack. In reality, the mastermind behind this entire game was Velger, an extremely cunning and dangerous mastermind. James had once been his most trusted man, but now he was about to expose all of Velger's secrets to the world. That is why Velger wanted James silenced forever before he could reach Interpol. On the other hand, James had completely changed as well. The man he had served loyally for years had tried to have him killed. Now he had decided that he would reveal every dark secret of Velger to Interpol and expose his true face to the world. Meanwhile, Arthur was still wandering in search of his family's killers. One evening, he is sitting alone in a bar, remembering his past. Just then, Papillon, Velger's most trusted man, approaches him. Without any introduction, he gets straight to the point. He says he has a mission that only Arthur can accomplish. At first, Arthur flatly refuses, but Papillon offers him a temptation he cannot ignore. He says that if the mission is completed, he will lead Arthur to the real killers of his family. Hearing this, Arthur agrees. Papillon tells him that James is under Interpol protection, and before he can reveal all the information, he must be eliminated. Agent Lily must not be left alive either. Arthur says with a faint smile that if he still does not get the truth after completing the mission, then the next bullet will be for Papillon. After that, he immediately reaches Hong Kong. Thanks to his skills, he reaches Lily in a very short time. Instead of attacking her directly, he chooses to get close to her. He presents himself as an ordinary man and starts a conversation. Slowly, trust begins to develop between them. During their conversation, Lily tells him that she has a young son. In response, Arthur tells her the tragic story of his family. There is so much pain in his words that Lily cannot keep herself distant from him. From there, the two begin to grow closer. But even by the end of the night, Arthur cannot complete his real mission. Despite getting several opportunities, he cannot bring himself to kill Lily and quietly starts to leave. But as soon as he steps outside, Lily suddenly points a gun at him from behind. She has now realized that Arthur is not an ordinary man, but a professional hitman. The very next moment, bullets begin flying between them. Lily uses her intelligence to save herself and circles around from the other side, unleashing a barrage of gunfire at Arthur. The bullets tear through his body. As he falls to the ground, the image of his family flashes before his eyes one last time, and his breathing stops. But the story does not end there. Some mysterious people take his body away with them. In the same secret lab where we saw him at the beginning, through a dangerous scientific experiment, they bring him back to life for only 24 hours. As soon as Arthur regains consciousness, he takes Helen hostage. Then, killing every guard who stands in his way, he escapes from the lab. Once outside, he steals a car and heads straight for Interpol headquarters. Meanwhile, at the Interpol office, Lily is recording James's statement in front of the press so that all of Velger's dark deeds can be exposed to the world. James finally begins to tell the truth. He reveals that Velger is not an ordinary criminal, but a deranged scientist. His most horrifying experiment is that he first takes people's lives, and then conducts dangerous experiments on humans to bring them back to life. Because of this madness, thousands of innocent people have already lost their lives. Just as the situation is moving forward, a precise shot fired from somewhere far away suddenly shakes the entire scene. A reporter is the first to collapse on the spot. After that, the people present there begin to be targeted one by one. Every bullet is hitting its mark. Seeing this, Lily immediately realizes that the real target is James. Without wasting any time, she tells him to duck and somehow tries to get him out of there. Meanwhile, the sniper positioned on a tall building keeps firing continuously. A little later, it is revealed that the sniper is none other than Papillon. He had already prepared the entire plan in advance. At the same time, the armed men below also begin their attack. Amid the rain of bullets, Lily manages to get James out safely. But the danger is far from over. Just as two guards are about to surround them, a speeding car suddenly pulls up. The moment Lily sees the person in the driver's seat, her eyes widen in shock. It was Arthur, the very man she had left for dead before her own eyes. Without explaining anything, Arthur gets both of them into the car and speeds away. But the enemies do not stop chasing them. Armed men attack from different directions, and in the middle of all the chaos, two police vehicles also join the pursuit. As they flee, Lily keeps returning fire and manages to stop several attackers along the way. Meanwhile, Arthur uses a truck to crash the pursuing vehicles. Within seconds, both police vans overturn, and almost everyone chasing them is eliminated. The three of them think they are finally out of danger. But then, another shot suddenly comes from somewhere far away and pierces straight into James's chest. The shot was fired by Papillon, who was hiding on top of a flyover. Arthur immediately stops the car. Lily does everything she can to save James, but his condition rapidly worsens. Before taking his last breath, James secretly hides the memory card he had removed from the camera in his hand. A few moments later, he dies. Lily opens his clenched fist and finds the same memory card in his hand. Now, all of Welger's secrets were stored inside that tiny card. On the way, Lily finally asks Arthur how he is standing alive again after dying. Arthur then tells her the whole story, how he was brought back for only 24 hours after death, how the timer attached to his hand has been counting down continuously, and how he now has only 13 hours left. He clearly says that before this time runs out, he has to settle scores with two people, the killer of his family and Welger, the owner of Red Mountain Company. Meanwhile, at the Red Mountain hideout, the camera is handed over to Papillon. He assumes the memory card is still inside it, but the moment he opens the camera, he is stunned because the card is missing. Just then, Welger calls him. There is obvious panic in his voice. He says that if the memory card gets out, everything will be over, so the card must be recovered at any cost. Otherwise, Papillon will be the first to die. Just then, one of Papillon's men tells him that Lily has a young son. The moment he hears this, he starts a new game. He orders his men to kidnap the child. A little later, he calls Lily directly and threatens her that if the memory card is not returned within 24 hours, she will never see her son again. Hearing this, Lily is completely shattered from within. For a mother, there could hardly be a greater fear. Arthur takes her to his house. There, he begins preparing all his weapons again. Seeing the photographs of his wife and children hanging in the house, Lily realizes that everything Arthur had told her about his family was true. Meanwhile, the timer keeps ticking down rapidly. Now, he has only 8 hours left. The two of them immediately leave and go to meet one of Africa's most powerful mafia bosses, Jacob. Arthur asks him for help and tells him that Red Mountain Company has kidnapped an innocent child. At first, Jacob does not believe them, but when Lily shows him the video stored on the memory card, he learns about the horrifying experiments Red Mountain has been conducting on humans, and that hundreds of Africans have already lost their lives because of them. Once the truth comes out, Jacob decides that he will stand with them in this fight. On the other side, Welger's man Bobby arrives at the agreed location to exchange Lily's son for the memory card. Arthur shows him a bag and says that it contains both the memory card and the money. Return the child first, but Bobby laughs and says they have no intention of returning the child or making any deal. They will keep both the money and the child. The atmosphere immediately becomes tense. Just then, Jacob appears with his men. Arthur gives one final warning: release the child or no one will leave here alive. But Bobby refuses to back down. The very next moment, Jacob kills him on the spot, and an intense battle erupts from both sides. Bullets fly everywhere, explosions rock the area, and brutal hand-to-hand fighting breaks out. Some of Jacob's men are also killed. Then, one of his men gets hold of a rocket launcher. Seeing this, Welger's men begin to flee, but a missile is fired at their vehicle, and it explodes in a massive blast. Seeing this, Lily believes her son was inside that vehicle. She breaks down in tears, but Arthur assures her that the child is not there. A short while later, their search finally ends, and Lily finds her son safe. During this time, Arthur looks at the timer on his hand. Only 36 minutes remain. He realizes that the time for the final battle has arrived. Leaving Lily and her son somewhere safe, Arthur heads alone toward Red Mountain Company. On the way, he captures one of the company's guards and forces him to call Welger. The guard lies and says that he has captured Arthur and is bringing him to the company. Welger falls into the trap and orders the gate to be kept open, but Papillon immediately realizes through the CCTV cameras that something is wrong. Furious, Welger orders that this time Arthur must not survive under any circumstances. Arthur drives the car at full speed straight into the company. Security immediately opens fire. A few seconds later, the car comes to a stop inside the building. As the guards approach the car, they find not Arthur, but explosives. Everyone backs away, and the very next moment the entire building is shaken by a massive explosion. Taking advantage of the chaos, Arthur slips inside. Security keeps searching for him, but he repeatedly appears out of nowhere and eliminates them one by one. Panicking, Welger announces that whoever kills Arthur will receive a huge reward, but Arthur keeps moving forward without stopping and finally reaches Welger's office. After taking out the last guard in his way, he stands directly before Welger and Papillon. Welger tries to run, but Arthur shoots him in the leg. Both of them are now in his sights. Trying to save his own life, Welger says that if Arthur kills him, he will never learn the truth. Then he points toward Papillon and says that the real culprit is the man standing right in front of him. Hearing this, Arthur is stunned. He demands answers from Papillon. Papillon explains that he had only carried out a contract. He had no idea that the people he had been sent to kill were Arthur's family. The real order had come from Welger. Then he reminds Arthur of his old life. He says that Arthur himself once took people's lives for money. The only difference is that this time the pain reached his own home. Papillon stands ready to accept his punishment, but Arthur does not fire at him. At that very moment, the timer on his hand reaches 0. His body begins to fail, and within a few seconds, he dies there forever. Seeing Arthur's death, Papillon is also shattered from within. At last, he realizes that this bloody game has destroyed everyone's lives. He picks up a gun, walks toward Welger, and kills him with a single shot. But the very next moment, the company's guards rush inside and unleash a hail of bullets on Papillon. Within seconds, he too falls to the ground. And with that, this story of blood, revenge, and a race against time comes to an end forever. If you enjoy such amazing movie recap stories, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay with us for more dangerous, mysterious, and thrilling stories.